Hi, it's Jaco Pastorius. A while back I did a video on Jaco Pastorius' Teen Town and how to play it on the guitar. I thought that was challenge enough. That was until I started learning port of entry. Now, over the years, I've transcribed many solos, some of them very difficult. Solos by Chicoria, Cannonball Adderley, Branford Marsalis, but this one is really high on the list in terms of level of difficulty. It is really hard to play. Port of entry is from the Weather Report album Night Passage that was released in 1980. The piece starts off using the C major pentatonic. It has a signature melody. And a lot of the phrases are revolving around that C major pentatonic. Even in Jaco's solo, he's using that major pentatonic. And when Zovinol comes in with his solo at the end, again, major pentatonic. And occasionally it goes into the dominant sound. The mixolydian. About halfway through, 2 minutes or so into the piece, Pastorius begins his solo. The first phrase he plays, he's got the fifth and that flat third to the second that he likes to do. As a matter of fact, that appears in Teen Town. Giving you that typical bluesy sort of R&B type of thing. That same phrase, the same pattern is repeated, but he lands on the sharp 4 this time, implying the Lydian dominant. Then he goes into this descending major pentatonic pattern. Now, when I first started playing this phrase, I played it like that, but I found a problem when I landed on the A. That the next part of the phrase starts on the A flat. It doesn't seem like a significant shift, but at that tempo, it slowed me down a little bit. I found that just a minor shift there was delaying me getting to the next part of the phrase, so I repositioned it and played it like that instead, and I found I was able to keep up with the solo. So just by landing on the second finger instead of the first, I'm able to slide down quickly to the A flat. So Pastorius is playing around the D Aeolian mode here, which makes sense, of course, because D Aeolian is the 6th mode of F major and C mixolydian is the 5th mode chord of F major. So F major is the parent scale with all its derivative modes, you know, F major, G minor, A minor, B flat major, so on and so on. So it's just modal interchange going on here. And then there's a passing note down to the fifth, and he chromatically descends from the major third down to the second. And here we go to the flat third, up to the major third, down to the flat third, down to the second. And there's that bebop type of lick. He does it again, and then plays this D minor arpeggio. D minor triad arpeggiated. It's a really nice lick. And then he plays, emphasizes that flat third to the major third. And that's lovely. He's playing off the sixth, flat seven, nine, back down to the six. So he's got the six and the nine in there. He plays this nice little phrase here, which is very reminiscent of sort of Charlie Parker phrases that you hear. Quite explicit about the Lydian dominant sound here. The A is the 6, the sharp 4, flat 7, 6, 5, sharp 4. And he plays these descending minor 7 arpeggios. The first one is a D minor 7. He takes the same pattern, moves it down, the same shape down a tone, and then down a semitone. Now, if we assume that he's playing these arpeggios over the C7, then when he moves it down a tone, the implication is B flat 7 and then A7. And then he resolves it to the C major pentatonic. Here is an interesting rhythmic pattern implying quintuplets in some respect, although they are just straight semiquavers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Played on the guitar is manageable at a moderate tempo, but if you're trying to play it at that speed, the speed that Pastorius plays it in the solo, wow. I mean, I don't know what kind of challenges it presents for a bass player when you're using your fingers to play these patterns, but on the guitar, this up and down stroke across adjacent strings, you know, this continuous alternating between up, down, it's very, very hard. So I did try and look at it more horizontally, you know, this sort of... But eventually you find yourself doing the same thing, crossing over. So I ended up playing it in this position. It seemed to be the only way I could get it up to speed, by playing it around here. Here he deviates from the Mixolydian sound, and he's playing part of the what would be the diminished scale. Applying that, or maybe applying a 13 flat 9. And he's back into the C major pentatonic. Now here was another issue I had. Was this little descending minor thirds that descend by semitones. You can play it reasonably fast on the guitar. But of course, the speed that he's playing at, forget it. I mean, I'm not saying it's impossible. Maybe if you spent 3 months just practicing that, you could get it. But I don't have 3 months to spare practicing that. So I repositioned it and played it in a different place. So instead of so originally I played it like this. And it was fine when I was playing it at half speed and then sort of slowly increasing the speed. But as I did increase the speed, I realized it was becoming more and more difficult to play. So I repositioned it to, so instead of going here, you can get much more speed doing it this way. This solo is unbelievable. I mean, if you really listen to it carefully, it's phenomenal. You know, considering that the electric bass has thicker strings, the frets are wider apart, and just the sheer speed, it's ferocious. There's so much precision there. There are a few notes that are ghosted here and there, but most of it is just so accurate. I've heard a few versions of Port of Entry from different live recordings, but on that night, he must have just got everything right because the entire solo is just great. So they captured a good one there.